Hi there, it's Sandy and AnaLynne here, and welcome to the Sandy and Friends podcast. Today we're with Hailey Ezzell. Am I saying that right? Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm proud, actually.
How's it going, Hailey?
It's going pretty well, you know. A lot going on. That's good.
Tell me everything. I'm so excited to ask all about you. Aren't you thrilled? I get to talk to you.
I'm pretty excited to be here, to be honest. I'm glad we could arrange something and, be on this show that so many greats have been on so far. You've got quite a reputation going for the two of you.
It's all me. It has nothing to do with her.
Oh, I know. As someone who's in a band with their dad, I know how it is.
That's so funny. Okay, all right, let's get into it. AnaLynne's gonna ask you the first question because it's my job. So, when was music first brought into your world, Hailey?
Well, music has always been a really big facet of my life. My dad was a roadie in the 90s for a local band in North Carolina where we're from, and he had a company where he sold all sorts of sound equipment and like karaoke equipment. So when I was growing up, we had a built-in like karaoke system in the house. So a casual Saturday night for us would be like, okay, let's sing some karaoke, or we'd play the game, which is literally just name that tune, but it'd be my dad's like giant iTunes like library, and we'd put it all on shuffle. It's just who can get fastest.
Oh my God.
That pretty much started it, and it's evolved obviously since then a little bit, but that was pretty much the genesis of it. It's apparently, I want to include this part because my mom always talks about this. When I was 3, I watched the Phantom of the Opera movie for the musical, and apparently I asked for lyric sheets, and my mom's like, Hailey, you don't know how to read yet. I said, I know. And I taught myself how to read with lyric sheets from Phantom of the Opera. Apparently, this is what I've been told.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I'll buy it.
Moms, but that's what I was told.
Oh my gosh, that is like the coolest thing ever. The music was just in you. So you gotta tell me what genre were you listening to that young?
The Jonas Brothers. I was listening to a lot of what I ended up like listening to now. I was listening to Bon Jovi, just because around that time was like, Have a Nice Day and all those later, It's My Life sort of Bon Jovi songs, and that was my mom's favorite band. And I was listening to Journey a bit. I was into quite a bit of country music. I still like country music, mainly like 80s through early 2000s country music. But I had actually I feel like I had a pretty healthy variety of music as a child. My favorite song was Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang.
This is so good.
It's awesome. And now every time I do a show with my duo, that's how we close the show.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can't I'm watching this whole journey already. It started when you were like 3 or 4, and now you close out with that. That's so cool. You know what? They're not really in my genre, but the Sugar Hill Gang they're so good.
Yeah.
It's like it's so good.
Yeah, they're great. I mean, had wonderful musicianship. They had some great ingenuity, especially for the time. That's one of the first rap songs.
Yeah.
That ever made it like really big. That and like Rapture by Blondie, which I don't talk about because that song is kind of odd to me, but but yeah, they were the first one, so it's pretty innovative, I'll say, definitely.
Yeah, you're not kidding. AnaLynne. So tell us, what instruments do you play?
Well, right now I got my piano behind me. You can kind of see it.
Yeah.
So I like to do it in order of ability because this is how my brain works. So I sing, I play piano, I play bass, I play drums, I play acoustic guitar. I say I play rhythm guitar because I can play like all the basic chords, so I can back up the backup. Then the melodica and a bit of the mandolin. I'm working on the mandolin right now. So
Whoa. I when did you I have so many questions. That's so many instruments. How did this
so I started, I mean, as you could probably guess by me asking for lyric sheets as a child, I started singing very early. The joke is that apparently I was watching Barney and my mom walked by and I'm singing the theme song, and she goes and runs to my dad and goes, "She's singing in key." And
happen?
little kids like that, they don't very often, they're not on pitch most of the time. And so it's like, we got one, because I have two siblings. So it's like, she can sing. We got one who can sing.
Oh my goodness.
So singing was very inherent and very natural to me. I started piano when I was 8. And then for a while I went to School of Rock. And so I was exposed to all the other instruments, and I was kind of put in that band setting for the first time. And I have this sort of thing where I'll see someone do something and I'll be like, I can do that. And then I'll figure it out. So my dad was learning how to play bass, and his office, he works from home. His office was like right in the same hallway as my bedroom. And so I'd be asleep and he'd wake me up playing like Give Me 3 Steps by Leonard Skinner, to the point that I was like dreaming about it. So I was like, I'm going to learn how to play bass. And then I kind of learned how to do that. And I was like, I'm going to learn drums. And it just kind of, now I can play 7 instruments. That's kind of the, it
That's
kind of exploded.
incredible.
So,
It's
but
incredible. So you taught yourself?
more or less. So I have formal lessons with voice. I had formal lessons with piano. I had 2 guitar lessons, 1 drum lesson, and I don't think I had a bass lesson. I might have had 1, and I didn't take lessons from melodicas because the melodica is just a piano anyway. So I was like, melodica I didn't take any lessons for, and the mandolin I just Google stuff and hope I can figure it out, and that's been working pretty okay for me so far.
I have to make an assumption here. You're learning boat on the river, aren't you?
It's on my to-do list. I want to
What are you
learn.
working on then?
I am trying to learn. I'm trying to work myself up emotionally to try to learn "Losing My Religion" by REM first.
Is there a mandolin in that? Oh my
That's
goodness.
the main instrument in that song.
You know what that is?
Yeah,
I
that's what that is.
really new.
A lot of people are just like, oh, it sounds like a tinnier guitar, but that's a mandolin on that song.
Oh my goodness. So is that what you're working on right now?
It's on my to-do list. My to-do list is like,
Can't blame you.
oh, it's I've worked on it a little bit. I need to get back into working on it. But that and Boat on the River are like my 2 ones that I'm like, I need to learn these, and then I can then I'm done. Then the mandolin has done what it can for me. And then I'm excited. So that's all.
Oh, that's so funny. It's based on the songs you want to learn that you learn the instrument. That's
Yeah,
fascinating.
pretty much.
Wow. Oh my goodness. That makes me feel like, I want to learn somebody to love, so I'll learn the piano. Uh,
That's a hard one. That's a
oh,
hard one on piano.
do you play it? Can you play it?
I don't know how, I actually don't know how to play that one. I did learn Bohemian Rhapsody like a year ago, and I did it for one of my pajama jams because my aunt requested it. And I was sitting there, I was like, okay, I just woke up. Let me try to play Bohemian Rhapsody, I guess. And it was just, it was crazy.
Wait, so okay, we have to go into pajama jams now. Oh, AnaLynne should ask up. She's just sitting here. Yeah. So do you actually play those songs right after you wake up?
So I'm going to let you in on a secret here. The pajama jams a lot of the times are pre-recorded. However, that's just so I can get multiple done at a time, so I don't have to every week worry about it.
Right.
But I do tend to record them around the time that I've like woken up. Usually I'll wake up, eat some breakfast, kind of make sure my hair looks halfway decent, and then I'll go sit down, figure it out. Usually it's the first time I've sung that day, it's the first time I've touched the piano that day, and I'm like, okay, hopefully this will go well, and sometimes it does.
Oh my gosh. I think most of the time it does. I think most people would agree. Yeah, I don't think I could ever do that. Man, I just getting up in the morning and just, yeah, I'm gonna go play my instrument now. I'm gonna make a lot of noise. I think I would be very angry with myself for the noise.
Well, you have to understand, I've been living the musician timetable for a while, so I don't get up until I got up early today. I got up at 9:30 and I thought I was going to die. I usually try not to get up before 10:30 if I can help it. But I used to like, sleep all day was a thing. But especially after a show, when you're loading out, you're getting home, taking a shower at 3 o'clock in the morning. I won't get up probably until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I will sleep 12 hours.
Oh my goodness.
And it's good sleep. You kind of just get in the bed and you're dead. You're gone. There's lights out. It's great. It's wonderful.
I've never heard somebody so enthusiastic about sleep.
Actually, one of the first songs I released, Wanting You, I wrote when I was trying to fall asleep, and I was so mad that I had this song. This very rarely happens to me, but I'm laying there and my eyes closed. I'm like, I'm going to bed, and the words start coming in my head, and I'm like, I don't have time for you right now. I don't have time for you right now. I want to go to bed. And it just kept coming and coming. I was like, fine. And I like to write my lyrics on paper. I am a purist. I believe strongly in paper. I'm like surrounded by notebooks all the time. But I didn't have one. So I just grabbed my like notes app and I'm like, fine. And I type verse, chorus. And I said, I'll do the bridge in the morning. And I went and I passed out. I was trying to write the like next week. I was trying to write a piano part for a different song I had written. And I realized while I was playing it, I was like, this isn't the piano for this song. This is the piano for that song I wrote when I was going to sleep the other day. It's like I didn't even think about that. That whole song just kind of came to be. It was very, very weird. So,
It's a beautiful song.
thank you.
In love with it. I feel so honored to have gotten the backstory of it. I'll write the bridge in the morning. That is so funny.
And the funniest thing is that I go to put the lyrics with the music. I never wrote a bridge. That song has a solo in it instead, and then a repeated chorus. So I did it. Because I was like, I tried to think about it, and I was like, there's no bridge in this song. And there wasn't.
You're right, there isn't though. I mean, it's beautiful the way it is. I can't believe the way that just came together
on you. Very odd.
It's incredible. we have to back up. So what made you begin writing music?
I mean, I've always been like a writer. When I was in second and like third grade, I would write books. Essentially they were excuse me, essentially they were just like, I watched Halloween Town on Disney Channel, and now I'm going to write my own version of it. It was essentially like over-glorified fan fiction, but we didn't have the word for it at that point. And so I just write stuff like that. And then I have this distinct memory, and I still have this in all of my nonsense in my room. I have a notebook from, it's either second or third grade, where we had this spirit week. It was called Dr. Seuss Week, as each day was like themed around a Dr. Seuss book. And I wrote a little song, like set of lyrics for each day of the spirit week. It was like wacky sock day, and I'd like write a thing about that, tacky day, and I'd write a little song about it. It's funny because I didn't even remember doing that until I went back and I saw that. I found them. I was like, I guess I've been doing this for longer than I realized.
That's great. So that's just something that came very naturally to you.
Yeah, it was very odd, but yeah.
It's great. What are you kidding? So what comes easiest to you? Is it the lyrics or the music when you're writing?
Well, both of them I mean, besides wanting you is an aberration all around. But in general, I write the lyrics first, and I kind of toy with them over the course of, I'll get like a phrase. I usually get a phrase, or I'm like, I want to write a song about this, and I'll come up with some phrases that go with it. And then I try to write the chorus first and then the verses. And then I just sit there and I rewrite it until I'm happy with it. That can take either a couple hours, a couple minutes, or a few weeks. And usually after that point, I set it aside for a while, and then I'm like, okay, let's take it to the piano. So I like to space it out, because I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but sometimes you'll write something and you're like, this is the best thing I've ever written. It's a masterpiece. And then you'll read it 24 hours later and you're like, this is garbage and it should be burnt at a stake somehow, like shoot arrows at it, like, explode it with your mind. And so I'm a true believer in spacing it out. So
Right.
it's all kind of difficult, but it's difficult because I want it to be difficult. I could settle, but then it wouldn't be as good as I want it to be. And I'm trying to write songs. I'm trying to write songs everyone likes, but if I don't like them, I'm going to be like, people probably aren't going to like this. Or rather, if I'm like 40 years old and I still happen to be doing this, I don't want to be playing this one song that I wrote in 5 minutes that doesn't work and people love it. And I'm just going to be like stuck with it for the rest of my life. So I always try and make it the best.
Right. Well, I mean, when you're writing, your perspective also changes in that time. So, I guess
Exactly.
it's probably pretty important to make sure that you have a good space of time to be able to
Yeah,
figure it all out. What artists
exactly.
have influenced the way you write your music and your lyrics?
Well, I'm sure you could take a guess.
Who?
Huh, huh. Who'd have thunk it? Uh, I just realized you had Crash of the Crown back there. I love that. Is that the clear one? The clear copy, or
Clear copy? What does that mean?
they have a crystal copy of the vinyl that they released. And
Oh,
they had
mine
just the
isn't.
standard black one and a crystal one, and I have the crystal one.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that was a thing. Mine's standard black.
I mean, all of them are cool. I like the colored ones because
Really?
you kind of collect the fun different colors,
It's
etc.
fun.
They also did that for the Mission when they released it initially. They
Oh yeah,
had
I
like a
have a
Coke
mission.
green one. But so yeah, it was weird, but it's so cool. But yeah, so Styx is a pretty big influence on me. Tommy Shaw specifically, met him,
Pretty big
and
influence.
he's yeah, casual, he's a very, very big influence on how I write. And I mean, just other people. Pat Benatar has been a pretty big influence. So is Heart. My favorite song for years and years and years was What About Love. I and let's see, Journey, Bon Jovi, just a lot of the 70s and 80s, kind of AOR uh rock bands, and also some of the singer-songwriter stuff, and I can't believe I'm admitting this, because I did not like this artist until I saw him in concert and he blew me away. But James Taylor is a
Really?
little softer than I used to like, and now I do, but he's got some. I mean, he's like an American songwriter. Like he is. He's amazing. And the way that he tells stories, and Tom Petty as well, the way these story songs are done. I've never felt like I've written a very good story song except for one. But I have a trouble with writing story songs, and so I always admire when people can really do it.
What's the name of the song?
So it's a song, it's not even been recorded yet,
Oh,
but I'm it's supposed to be the title track for my debut album.
oh,
And so it's not even been recorded yet. And it's kind of a big deal, but to me it's a big deal. But the song, I'll just say the title. I'll say the title, but I'm not going to say what it's about. It's called Queen of the Airwaves.
oh my goodness. So many possibilities.
Yeah, it's a very It's a very interesting song. Everyone I've like told about it, they're like, that's weird, but it makes sense and it's good. So no one's complained about it so far. So
Yeah, that's always a good thing when people don't complain.
we'll see, you know, but can
Better be the first to know about it, Hailey. You
you
know,
repeat that?
I'd better be the first to know about it when it's released.
I'll let you know. I'll send some links.
Me, not to Sandy.
Of course, of course. I got you.
You good? Okay, I'm glad. So, what's it to you that makes a good rock song? So, like, what specific aspects are you trying to capture?
The thing is, I feel like my answer to that question changes like every couple months.
Oh,
You know, I'm a strong believer in lyrics. That's part of the reason I write the lyrics first. Because I feel like even if your song is about eating a sandwich, it's got to be dedicated to eating that sandwich, you know. Your song should be about something even if it's about nothing.
right.
Even if you're writing about the absolute most ridiculous thing. Weird Al Yankovic, for an example. He has this song called Airline Amy. I love that song so much. It's about falling in love with a flight attendant. And it's so dumb. It's so crazy. And that's such a you hear that phrase, it's about falling in love with a flight attendant. And you like there's some possibilities there, but that's not really it's not like solving world peace or something, you know? It's it's not like it's handling heavy subject matter, but he handles it with the same level of seriousness of someone who's writing like a folk song. So I think you have to take it very seriously. So I think lyrics are very, very important. I'm a big harmony person. I love harmony, as you probably could have guessed from all the bands I listed.
Nick's Journey.
Diggs, Journey, Bon Jovi, all of them. Heart.
Or
So harmony is a big one for me. And then everything else just kind of depends upon how I feel that day. Sometimes I want to be a heavy song, you know. I want to be Back on the Road Again by REO Speedwagon. I want to be, you know, Miss America. I want to be something heavy, you know. And sometimes I want it to be, you know, Sweet Baby James by James Taylor, or I want it to be It's Too Late by Carole King. So it depends on the situation to me. But I feel like as long as you are doing it with intention, then you have the song. And that's the important thing to me.
I loved every ounce of everything you just said. That shows just how much dedication you have and how much you just love what you do. It's
Oh
so
yeah.
epic. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about Stone Lace. So when was it formed and who formed it and how? Tell me everything. Tell me.
So Stone Lace formed in 2018. It is the band that my dad and I put together. We actually put it together with our bass player John, and that's been the three of us ever since 2018. We put it together, and I came up with the name. I I had previously pitched it to another band. I was like, hey, this is a potential name, and they didn't take it. So I was like, okay. And when I broke off and did this new project, I was like, my band now, I'm gonna call it Stone Lace. And I obviously flowed that past the my dad and our bass player, and everyone was cool with it. I liked the idea of Stone Lace because I wanted it to feel like Leather and Lace, the Stevie Nicks Don Henley song. So I want something that established that dichotomy, because as you know, we had a band with two singers in it, so my dad and myself, and so we inherently have a dichotomy. Although the funny thing is people call him Stone and myself Lace, but I end up doing a lot of the heavier songs than he does, so it's kind of very, very backwards. But I wanted to set up that create an intersection rather between hard and pretty, if that makes sense. So Stone is hard, Lace is pretty. Where do they meet? Stone Lace. So
Gosh. That
Yeah, I put way too much thought into a lot of this stuff, but
not at
I love the
all,
name. Even to this day, I love that's I'm very proud of that name.
because it's beautiful. It's the coolest thing. It's so rock and roll.
Right? It's
Um,
perfect.
so what kind of music do you guys play? Do you play some of your original stuff, or what are you guys doing?
So we primarily are a cover band just because that's what the market tends to want. We call ourselves a party rock band. We do 70s, 80s primarily. We do some 90s. I throw in an Evanescence song, and then we do my originals. I have, let's see, we do three of them. The three that are out are the three that we do, and we kind of switch between which ones we do. Usually, we perform Next Time, the last single that came out in June, July, whenever it came out. I don't even remember, but it came out this year, and we've been doing it. We've been doing it since then, and that's been pretty fun. So the band, primarily, it's a cover band, but it's also the vehicle for my music to be in front of new ears, as I like to say. So.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness. So do you have a favorite song that you guys play?
Hmm. It once again, that's one of those things that changes from like week to week. But let's see. Well, we do Blue Collar Man.
Oh my goodness.
So I mean that one's always a favorite. I do State Street Sadie,
Oh my gosh.
and then we cut it into Blue Collar Man. So it's just kind of like a little Easter egg for those people who might be aware of it. And I don't know if anyone's even really caught it before, but that's if for anything for me, I'm just like I can play this ragtime song. It just makes me happy. So I love doing that, and then I also love we do like You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette, and that one is so fun. I love singing angry women music. So it's my favorite genre. That we do Before You Cheat, Like the Way I Do, and I'm the Only One by Melissa Etheridge. It's just because the reactions you get from the audience, all the women in the audience are just like, yeah, I'm gonna key his car, and I'm like, sure, and I love it. It's so visceral, the emotion in that, and people just they really get into it. So I love doing those songs. But on more of a personal note, Blue Collar Man is definitely my favorite to actually play.
Oh, so when you
So
release
but
singles, is Stone Lace, like your dad and the bassist, are they backing you?
so it kind of depends on the song. My dad is my producer, actually, so he helps me in the actual studio. We have a home studio. He helps me record the actual stuff, and then he goes and he mixes and sets up all the tech stuff. Because of all the instruments I play, I do not play the computer, and he's an IT guy, so he's got that on lock. Sometimes I've had my drummer work on a couple of our songs, and I've had my bass player work on one of the songs. But I actually have this other group of people who I turn to for help with recording specifically. They are some of my oldest friends. Two of them I consider like my mentors. They're also unofficially my uncles. So I I love these guys, and they really help me a lot with they do the drums and the bass, and then I bring in a guitarist. So it's all very good. But I have kind of a group of people I pick and choose from to help me for each project based on what I think that's going to need. So that's how that works.
That is so cool. That whole process just sounds so cool to me. I mean, it must feel incredible to be releasing singles, right?
Oh yeah, no, the first one, when Wanting You came out, it was very surprising to me. Even though I knew I was putting it out, I was just kind of like, whoa. And I could ask like the smart devices in my house, I say, play songs by Hailey Ezzell, and they'll do it.
Oh my
And
gosh.
that's I have not gotten over that yet. And I don't
That's
know if I will, because that was very freaky.
so. Tell me, what is next for you? What are you up to? What's happening?
Well, I'm still working on my album, as I said. I'm trying to get one of my singles, the next single, mixed for release. I think it's the right time of year for it. It's a blues rock song.
Ooh.
So that's all I'm going to say about that one. It's a blues rock song, and so I feel like, you know, October, November, December, now we've gotten into the kind of sultry, you know, music. Now it's the time for that. So I'm trying to get that mixed and out to people. I'm still working on recording the album. I actually have one song that's going to be on the album that goes hand in hand with a novel I wrote that I'm trying to get published. So I'm talking to different agents right now, trying to get, you know, someone to represent it. And then, yeah, that'll be kind of a fun tie-in between the novel and the album. So I'm working on stuff. I've been booking. I just got, I say, promoted to booking my band. So I've been making sure that we stay busy, and I'm working on a lot of stuff.
What do you think?
It's
That's
crazy.
awesome. I mean, it's music.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It truly is. I'm very blessed to be able to be in a place where I can pursue it the way that I am. It's very great.
It's fantastic. I think it's really funny that you said, you know, October, November, December, that's like, this is the bluesy kind of year, sultry stuff, and that's exactly the way my head works too. You know, I think of the summertime and I think like Damn Yankees, like High and Up, all
I
that.
know, yeah.
And then now we're into like Led Zeppelin territory.
Yeah, the October is very bad company. I can't explain it,
That is
but
brilliant.
yeah.
Oh, that is so funny. When you're not doing music, what are you up to?
Well, I do have a day job, but that I actually work teaching music, so that doesn't really count. Um, I've just been trying to do a lot of stuff. I mean, working with the novel a lot. I mean, man, most of what I do is linked to music, so it's kind of hard to it's hard to find one way or another. Uh, I've been trying to go out into nature a little bit more. I'm someone who burns really easily. The
Oh
sun
my
doesn't like me, so I've been trying to find like ways to go to the beach without getting burnt. So I've been like, after it
nitrous.
rains, you know, I but you know, I've been just trying to experience some things like that, perhaps travel a little bit more. But I mean, right now, I mean, I just graduated college in August, so I'm right now, when I'm not working on music, I'm working on work. So it's just kind of at a weird point in life, but it's very interesting. I can say it's not boring. And that's the one thing that I can ask for. I tell everyone I can deal with weird, I can deal with annoying, I can deal with everything but boring. So
I
that's
totally understand that.
mhm.
Things that are very low energy. Wow, let's say that in English. Things that are very low energy, just don't do it. I mean,
Yep.
especially you're a musician.
Mhm.
It's always high energy stuff. So,
Exactly.
if you could collaborate with any artist, who would it be? I think I have an idea.
There's actually there's three answers to that question.
Let's hear it.
The first is obviously Styx. I would love to. I mean, I met Tommy, obviously. I met Todd, and he and I actually have talked a couple times. Lawrence and I, like, I have talked very briefly to him. I've met Chuck at the airport, and he and I like hung out for like an hour. It was wild. So like I already know the guys more or less. So if I would, I don't know. I want to be their friends. I don't even want to play music with them. I want to be their friend. No,
Yeah, yeah.
but if I could play with them, sing, you know, on something with Tommy, for example, he has one of my favorite duets ever. Half a Mind off of the Seven Deadly Zens album, 1998.
Oh my
It's
God,
him
I've
and
heard that.
Alison Krauss.
Oh
If you
wow,
don't know it, you need to hear it. It's one of my favorite duets of all time.
I'm
And
gonna
I'd
have to
love to
hear it.
sing that with him.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
that is so
I
cool.
love that song. So that's my first thing is, you know, Styx. The second one is actually Amy Lee of Evanescence.
I don't know.
She she is a huge influence on me. A lot of times when I sing Evanescence, people say that I sound like her, which is kind of funny. I actually had someone come up to me after my band did My Immortal, and the guy comes up to me and says, "Nice Amy Lee impression," and they kind of walked away, and I was like, I wasn't doing an impression, but cool. I'll take. I mean, I'm not insulted. I'll take it. You know, that's
Awesome.
good. So I love her. She's just, she's. I love her. That's just all I can say about that. And then the third option would be probably Stevie Nicks. I feel like that one's a pretty obvious. You know, if you're a woman in rock, you wanna meet Stevie Nicks. Did you see they made a Barbie doll of her?
Just was gonna say that. Can you even believe that?
I can't even order it. They're out of the pre-orders.
Oh my
I'm
god,
so
did they see
mad.
it to go that fast?
Yeah, because they let people buy like 10 at a time or something. I don't know how you run out of a pre-order. The thing hasn't even been made yet. I don't really get that.
Yeah, how do you run out of a that is so funny.
I don't know. I'm not a business person. I just understand music business. I'll understand Mattel. But
Oh,
um
it's
Stevie would be a really cool person to me. I finally got to see her in concert last October, which I think is the prime time to see Stevie Nicks. It's a
of
little
course it goes right in with that. Hmm.
perfect. And I think, you know, I just think she went through a lot, and I respect her for that, you know.
Yeah,
She defied some stereotypes and broke down some boundaries that I feel like if she hadn't gone through that, perhaps, you know, I wouldn't be able to be in the place that I am today.
right.
So I respect her for that a lot, definitely. So
Absolutely.
those are my three options.
Wait, now you gotta tell me what's your favorite Stevie Nicks song? I gotta know.
There's so many. Okay, here. The one that I've been listening to a lot recently is Has Anyone Ever Written Anything for You?
Oh my goodness.
It's the saddest song I think I've ever heard, maybe. It's so sad. And like I believe it's like she wrote that for Joe Walsh.
Why?
They had been dating at one point.
Did they
And
really?
yeah, they dated.
I didn't know
And
that.
I know so much information that I don't know what to do with ever, so I just bestow it upon other people to confuse and bewilder them. So
I
there
am here to be bestowed upon. Not even
so
make
apparently they dated for a while, and I think his daughter passed away like in a car accident. And so she wrote this song, you know, he was going through this heavy emotional period, and then she wrote the song for him. Has anyone ever written anything for you? Because he's also a songwriter, so obviously he wrote a song called, I think it was called Song for Emma, who was his daughter, if I'm recalling this correctly. Don't quote me on this. I understand we're recording this and this is an interview, but don't quote me on this. I am not Google. I just remember a bunch of information, and sometimes it's about 85% correct. So
sometimes.
yeah, sometimes it's just wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
It's all good.
He wrote a song, it's like Song for Emma, I believe it was called, and it was for his daughter. And so then Stevie's response was, has anyone ever written anything for you?
Oh.
And it's it's just a very heavy song, even without the background on it. Just the piano on it is gorgeous. Is that basic piano, and then the harmony, as I said, and the lyrics are so, they have such a weight to them and importance. So I mean, that's probably my favorite Stevie song. And then of course Edge of 17.
Of course.
Of course, like that's not even a question.
Oh, she is incredible. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is bringing her up. I just suddenly remembered how much I love her. Oh, we're up to our last question. So, AnaLynne. Hailey, do you have any words of wisdom to share with us and all of our viewers here?
I've got a couple.
All right, let's hear them.
Couple that I've thought of. So at least two words. Not to quote Nike or anything, but you know, if you're going to try to do something, especially in the arts, just do it. You know, if people are telling you you should be a musician, if people are telling you you should draw that drawing, paint that painting, crochet that sweater, like do that fine art piece with the glass and the sand, whatever they're telling you to do, if you want to do it, and people are telling you you should do that, follow their advice. Because the whole reason I'm sitting here right now is because I have this mantra, and it is, too many people have said yes for me to say no.
Oh, I love
I
that.
wanted to be a musician. I've wanted it since in 8th grade was when I finally decided I'm going to be a musician. And it was because I was listening to Miss America and I went, I want to do this.
That is incredible.
I was listening to Sticks and I'm like, I want to be a musician. Like, this is what I want to do. And over the years, I've had so many people, you know, at shows and at when I go out sing karaoke, or people have heard my music or anything, I have people say, you need to be doing this. This is who you are. You have to try. And I'm like, well, yeah. Not saying that anyone needs to be granted permission to do anything. If you want to do it, do it. But if you're like shy or nervous, or if you're feeling uncomfortable about the concept of it and people are telling you to go try it, there's no harm in trying it. So that's my wisdom, I think.
I love that. I love every little bit of that. Wow. Oh my goodness. You are incredible. I'm so thrilled that we got to do this. Oh, this is like
Yeah, I'm glad we got to finally schedule something, because I mean we've been kind of dancing around in the same different circles, you know.
oops.
It's good that we've been able to hang out today.
Yes, I'm so glad. I'm so sorry about my COVID problems.
Listen, I mean, I am never going to begrudge someone who's like, I am sick with actual like real illnesses and I can't do stuff, and I'm like, okay, that does not, I am not offended that you are sick. Like, you can't control that.
I was so worried that I was like, I really want to interview her, but I can't sit still. I have all these headaches. And I was so glad when you wrote back, it's okay. I had it and I couldn't have citrus for over a year. Thought that was
Yeah,
the funniest
yeah,
thing.
it was a very weird time.
Citrus is such a specific thing that's
Yeah,
so
but
funny.
now I have orange juice in the fridge right now, and I'm actually thinking about drinking some. So you're
Hey,
welcome
there we are. Well, again, thank you so much.
First, thank you for having me.
This was terrific. I can't wait to put it out for everybody out there. So,
Yeah, I'm excited for your people to meet me and my people to meet you. I think this will be a very good
yeah,
thing for both of us.
yeah, it'll be great for both of us. All right. Well, thank you so much. I'll hit the recording. Thank you all. We'll see you soon.